place in the Patriot League with a 5-6 mark, 8-14 overall, while the Mountain Hawks currently in the second spot with an 8-3 mark. They are 15-7 to this point of the year. Very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Lehigh Navy basketball here this afternoon on the campus of Lehigh University. Mike Zambelli, Rich Baxter now in for the call of the men's game. We look at Dr. Brett Reed and his Mountain Hawks trying to rebound from a Monday night loss suffered right here on this court at the hands of Colgate, 84-62. It snapped a three-game winning streak. Excuse me, Rich. Let's talk about Jordan Cohen and what has made him the player over the last couple of games. He is the reigning player of the week in the Patriot League.
Well, he's averaging 13 points a game, has 32 threes, shooting at a phenomenal 52% from the field. The reigning Patriot League player of the week, though, has been sensational in the last 3 of 4 games, Mike. He's averaging better than 22 points a game, so he's elevated his scoring ability, and certainly he has scored in a number of ways, in transition, off the half-court set, and certainly off the dribble drive. In addition, he's a great facilitator of the basketball. Ed
DeChellis, now in his 8th season in charge of the Mids. He's a graduate of Penn State University, where he served as their head coach before taking over this program here. One of the keys for their success here this afternoon lies on the shoulders of Hassan Abdullah.
Hassan Abdullah, the 6-foot guard, has been having an outstanding year. In the last game, he had a career high against American, scoring 23 points. He is one of 2 returning starters, so he has excelled in distributing the basketball in the offense, as well as improved his own offensive productivity in the course of the season. A solid defender as well.
Mountain Hawks won the first meeting in Annapolis, 85-74. They'll go for the sweep here this afternoon. Lehigh Navy, yours next on Service Electric Cable Television here in the Lehigh Valley. Today's game is Diversity and Inclusion Day, presented by Lehigh University's Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity. John Carter Jr. is a 3-time Rookie of the Week. In the Patriot League, Hassan Abdullah, Cam Davis, George Kiernan, and Evan Wick. Starting 5 for the Mids, Lehigh will counter with Kyle Lefroy, Lance Tejada, the reigning Player of the Week, and Jordan Cohen, Pat Andre, and James Karnick. Getting the start for the Mountain Hawks, Brett Reed, assisted by Antoni Weiss, Harry Mora and Noel Hightower, while Ed DeCellis joined on the bench by Emmett Davis, former Colgate head coach John Perry, and David Harris. We get ready to get this one underway. Mountain Hawks coming off a loss, 84-62 to Colgate. They will win the tip, working from your left to right, wearing their home white uniforms trimmed in brown.
Navy midshipmen open up in man-to-man, Mike. They're coming off of 2 solid wins.
Beat Loyola 71-68, American 77-67 last time out.
Very good rebounding team, as we'll note that as the game develops. Deep three there by Lefroy. Just didn't get it to fall, but got a good look.
Mountain Hawks dig out an offensive board. Lefroy had it knocked away, and hustling for the loose ball was John Carter Jr. He's a freshman out of Spring Hills, Tennessee.
One of the keys for the midshipmen this afternoon was their ability to value the basketball. Last time out, turned the ball over 20-plus times on the offensive end. So certainly that's a part of the game they have improved on. And John Carter gets them on the board with a mid-range J for 2.
Well, the other thing, just a 39% field goal shooting team, and that is down at the bottom of the list in the Patriot League. So they don't shoot the ball great. And when they do, obviously they're going to be a handful. Lost to Lehigh 85-74 in the first meeting. Mountain Hawks go to work at the offensive end, and just a tough pass to handle, and it'll be a turnover on Lehigh. Here come the mids the other way. Davis checks off. Kiernan, Davis turning the corner. Off the heel of the iron, skies for the board. They are very good at offensive rebounding, and something that Lehigh is going to have to be up to the challenge with this afternoon.
Exactly right, and that provides a lot of second chance opportunities on the offensive glass.
Mountain Hawks, who lead the nation in three-point field goal percentage at 44%, start out 0 for 2 here this afternoon.
Mountain Hawks also employing man-to-man defense.
Brewer turns the corner. Shot clock already down to 14. Andre with the rebound and now checks off.
Good transition D by the midshipman.
Cohen stripped out of his hands. Nice effort by John Carter Jr. 19th takeaway of the year for the freshman. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists last time out for him. Mountain Hawks able to corral the miss. Now trying to hustle it down court, and it's going to be a turnover on Lehigh.
Lehigh off to a sluggish start this afternoon, as the midshipmen have struggled also. You noted that on the offensive end, but give credit to the defense. Midshipmen do a good job in their man-to-man. They're helping recovery. They try to lock down the dribbler, take away passing lanes, and then make their defense be part of their offensive package.
Greg Anagnosopoulos, Jamal Rawls, and Kyle Benzer, your 3-man officiating crew. Wick posting up inside, double down comes. He gets it back out on the perimeter. 7 to shoot for the mids. Attacking the rim off the mark was Davis.
Cam Davis does a nice job with the dribble drive there. Turn the corner. Once he breaks that foul line, he's pretty difficult to handle. Uses his body wisely. Didn't get enough of the glass, though, to get it to fall.
81st meeting all-time between these two, with Navy leading the overall series 48-32. There's a look at the series history. Last meeting on January 23rd, won by the Mountain Hawks. Navy leads here in the Valley 20-12. Neutral sites, they're all even at 2 apiece. Hard to the basket, and getting it to go was Lance Tejada.
Nice execution that time. Nice ball screen by a teammate, and then the good use of the dribble for Tejada to get 2 on the board.
Well, bad news is Lehigh goes over 3 minutes without scoring a bucket. Good news is they've only given up 1. We're all tied at 2. Wick working good position inside.
Excellent. Karnick did a good job on Wick on that low post play there. Didn't foul, stayed vertical, didn't come down with the arms, forced the short shot. They'll maintain possession.
Wick, the top finisher in the Patriot League, 70.8% field goal conversion rate. This on a team that only makes them at 39.8%. So you can imagine if his numbers weren't there. Abdullah in a little trouble. They turned it over 20 times in the first meeting against Lehigh, and they were costly. The roll of Abdullah, they're going to wave that basket off.
Was it offensive interference?
They waved that basket off. 15:49 to go. We're off and running in a 2-2 ball game. Out-of-town scoreboards in men's basketball. Bucknell a winner, so they'll keep their hold on first place, beating Boston U. American has knocked off Army, a close one there, and Loyola with a 3-point victory over Colgate. So close ones all the way around, and you saw it live here earlier this afternoon at Stable Arena. The Boston University Terrors 52, Lehigh Mountain Hawks 48 on Play for K-Day in women's basketball here at Lehigh University. Boy, points at a premium here, and even when you get one, you get an offensive goal. And Rich, you looked at the replay, appropriately called.
Yes, it was. Good call by the official. Interference with the ball as it was in the cylinder before it went completely through. Cohen now working hard to get something going on the offensive end.
Mountain Hawks coming off that loss against Colgate. That was on Monday. Navy playing midweek, beating American 77-67. Here is Tejada with a little change of pace, knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Lehigh. Tejada, 6'2" senior, was a member of the preseason All-Patriot League team. Mountain Hawks a preseason favorite to win the league this year as Andre raises up and knocks down the three.
You know, Andre has that skill set where he can step out and bury the three. Good execution on the part of the Mountain Hawks to get him the good look and the finish.
Well, he's a big part of that arsenal that has Lehigh leading the country, making 44.6% of their threes. Andre fifth in the league, 43.2%. And he was one of 3 Mountain Hawks in the top 5.
Substitution number 0.
Mountain Hawks will get a stop, sub in Caleb Bennett for the Mountain Hawks.
Nice execution on the out of bounds play there. You see Andre getting the good look, burying the 3 ball.
And Andre at 6'8". I don't know who's going to challenge that out there. Lehigh setting up offensively. And it was Andre again, back-to-back threes for the 6'8" junior from Colts Neck, New Jersey.
Hawks have a variety of weapons. He's high on their list, though, for shooting beyond the arc and finishing.
Now has 56 threes, the 54 coming in, the 3rd best number in the Patriot League. So makes him at a high percentage. And shows you high with another stop.
Yeah, nice defense here we're going to see. There's the pop out. Nice look, and on the other end, his defensive ability caused the midshipman to turnover.
Well, they're popping him out again, and now this time there's going to be a foul. Tejada has been knocked to the deck. George Kiernan picking up the personal foul.
That's what you call going through the screen, not around it. And you'll see he's just coming right through the screen.
You think, huh? That's truly fighting through the screen, huh?
Coaches like to hear that, but you don't like to see it. Let's put it that way.
First on Kiernan, he's a 6'7" senior. This is his first year as a starter. Making his 22nd start in this their 22nd game here this afternoon. Andre going inside and is denied. Good work back there by Abdullah.
Good recovery by Abdullah, as you mentioned, Mike. That looked like two in the well, high-low. I stand corrected. John Carter got more of that basketball. Excellent defense. Good help on the from the weak side.
There's a made three for Kyle Lefroy. Lefroy's 40th of the year. 44% are out there.
Take away one option, and they'll show you they have other people that can step up on the offensive end.
Mountain Hawks in a hurry the other way. Lefroy passed on the three and dealt it inside. It was knocked out of bounds. That's freshman Nick Lynch who is reported in for the Mountain Hawks. Dr. Brett Reed picked up career win number 200 earlier this year. Lefroy rattles home a little left-handed layup inside. So a couple of back-to-back buckets for him. The Mountain Hawks extend their lead to 11. You know, you have to figure they've got a little bit of an edge to them this afternoon. Rich losing, as I mentioned, to Colgate Monday, but not only that, losing here at home. Three-pointer well off the mark by Davis. That not their game.
A sideline break here. A little push by Andre. They'll swing it, rotate that defense as best they can. Oh, nice pin and seal if they can get it to him. A little late.
Lefroy raises up. Rebound controlled by Navy. Navy averages just 65.3 points a game. That's last in the league.
Just can't get anything to fall. They're getting some looks.
Davis had a good look at a three. 24 of them on the season. Tejada, little hesitation. There's nice offensive board by Nick Lynch.
Nick does a good job competing on the offensive and defensive board. Coming off the bench, it gives Coach Brett Reed some really good inside offense and some solid defense.
At the line for Lehigh, number 44,
Nick with personal foul. And Lynch, who was pretty high recruit coming out of Seattle Prep in Washington. Earned Rookie of the Week honors back in November. 6'11" freshman. He's playing in his 23rd game. He's averaging close to 13 minutes a contest.
Struggles somewhat at that stripe, though. He certainly wants to work on that. Only 48% coming into this afternoon's contest. He gets one of two.
So Lynch on the board early. Mountain Hawks stretch their lead to a dozen, 14-2. Greg Summers, 6'3" freshman, is checked in. 4 freshmen on the 15-player roster for Navy. Summers, nice change of direction, but nice job staying in there with it with Lynch. 8th block of the year.
As I mentioned, nice fake the up and under, but Lynch right there for the recovery. Nick did a good job of staying on the floor until the offense elevates. Timed it perfectly, got all ball, but the midshipman will maintain possession, trying to cut into this lead.
2.6 rebounds for Lynch in the first meeting against Navy. Boy, the mids, they can't buy a bucket.
Scored those first 2 points early, and they have really gone completely dry, as we see Andre a little quick with the footwork as he gets called for the travel.
Timeout on the court will step aside as well. The Lehigh lead at a dozen. Special welcome to all the fans watching this afternoon's Service Electric broadcast on the Patriot League Network. More than 300 games will be available live on the Patriot League Network this season, as nearly every home non-league and league game for all 10 schools will be broadcast. For more information on the Patriot League Network, visit patriotleague.tv. Good crowd here this afternoon.
Yes. Coach Ed DeChellis at that timeout certainly trying to deploy a number of midshipmen on the court that can put some offense on the board. They're 1 for 12 from the field, 0 for 6 from three-point land, so they're hungry to get some points on the board. Let's see if this offensive set can generate that.
Well, and that has been the concern this year. Mentioned last in the league in scoring. When you look at their offensive numbers, they're last in assists. They only average about 12 assists per game. So just scoring points has been a challenge for these guys. The one thing you know you're always going to get, though, is they will defend, as John Carter Jr. has his second field goal of the game, and all 4 points for Navy. Andre forced beyond the perimeter.
Trying to toughen up on the defensive end as Cohen looks to create some offense.
Jameer Wilson, who's checked in for Lehigh, as the mids get a stop. Giving up 72 points a game. That's 6th in the conference. Abdullah unable to convert on a tough layup at the rim. Here's Cohen in a hurry the other way. And Wilson couldn't get the jam there, fouled in the act.
Nice transition offense that time by the Mountain Hawks. Cohen puts the ball off the bounce. Very nicely done. Coming from behind, we saw there Kiernan, got the foul, so he'll get a chance now to shoot 2.
6'7" freshman from Chicago, Illinois. Woodstock Academy, also attended Notre Dame College Prep. Averaging 4 points a game. He was part of 101 wins in high school. Rookie of the week back in November. Played 18 minutes the first meeting with Navy. Lead now at 12 once again. 34 is Danny Ojelly, a 6'7" sophomore in for Navy.
Coach is looking for that combination of getting some rhythm right now. It's just difficult for the midshipmen to get any kind of offensive rhythm, no matter who's on the court. You got to give a certain amount of credit to the Mountain Hawks defense. They're doing a very good job on the ball and communicating. We can hear them calling out the screens and switching when necessary. So good job by them on the team defensive side.
Well, they've had some time since Monday night's loss to Colgate, and you would think, Rich, that'd be a point of emphasis. They're giving up 77.8 a game, which is 8th in the league, and you would think if they're going to attain their goals, that they're going to have to shore that up a little bit as Tejada rings up a pair for Lehigh.
You make a very good point. We know this team can score, but they can get that defense a little bit better in terms of keeping their opponents in the 60s rather than the 70s. That'll be a real plus going into the league.
Jelly lifts out at 3. You know, that's kind of a double-edged sword as Cohen and acrobatic bucket the other way. And Ed DeChellis is not happy with his guys right now. He's shaking his head and letting them know that this is not acceptable for us here as they're down 16.
See, Jordan Cohen, we really know that this young man has elevated his offensive productivity in the course of the last 3 or 4 games. As I mentioned in the open, 3 or 4, he's averaging better than 22.7 points a game. So his ability to use the dribble drive to create offense for himself was obvious there. But I like the way he finds people in the open court in transition, as well as his ability to drop off little pocket passes to the bigs and make them valuable inside offense.
Early going, second go around in the Patriot League. Bucknell, as we showed you earlier, a winner. Lehigh trying to keep pace. Colgate right in there. Army at 6-6. American 7-5. Navy there 5-6. Loyola, Boston U, Holy Cross, and Lafayette about as tough a 3-8 team as you're going to find in any conference across the country.
That's a good point.
Just finding it hard to win some games. I mean, battled diligently with arch rival Lehigh on 2 occasions and nothing to show for it. 1 loss in overtime. There's some good hustle there by Carter Jr.
That's a good word to use. That's good hustle play by Carter.
Carter had 14 points and 33 minutes of work against Lehigh the first meeting. Owen checks off. Tejada now clears it from that far corner. Bennett holds near side. Navy's extending that zone defense.
In that zone now, trying to match up out of it, take away a little bit of the firepower.
Rebound to Josiah Strong, a freshman who's checked in for Navy. Hometown Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. There he is offensively and knocking down a 3. His 15th of the year.
Josiah Strong looked strong on that 3 ball. Mike did a good job of spotting up and without any hesitation buried it to get his team on the board. They're only down 11. If they get a few more stops, they're right back in it.
Did not score in 5 minutes of action against Lehigh first time. Rebound to number 33, Luke Lair, a 6'7" sophomore. So Ed DeChellis has some youngsters out there. Here's Strong looking for 3 more and a bit unlucky.
Yeah, nice ball screen set for him. Moving to the left. Spun around the rim, just didn't fall.
Tejada, Bennett. Rich, I started to talk earlier about this Lehigh attack and mentioned that they are the nation's top 3-point shooting team. That comes sometimes that, you know, we were talking about their defense as you get a look here at Strong, Matt knocking down at 3. You have a tendency to relax sometime in defense thinking you're going to outscore everybody.
Yeah, that's very true, and certainly Coach Brett Reed is really conscious of that. And there's where he talks about staying focused and engaged. And he's really talking about focused and engaged on the defensive end, where he knows there's room for improvement. And I think his players are trying to buy into that philosophy or that culture, and we'll see where it takes them. Nice job of Cohen spotting up, just couldn't get it to fall though.
Jelly the rebound, 2.7 of those per game. Didn't score in 7 minutes the first game against Lehigh. Here he is offensively. Just couldn't convert. Boy, missed it at point-blank range.
Solid rebound by Karnick.
Bennett. Going to be a block on Navy. Carter perhaps a step late in getting there.
I was going to say, Bennett making the good move. The defense a tad late in getting in that legal guarding position. So excellent penetrating move.
Timeout on the court. Lehigh by 11. 7:42 to go. They'll have. Lehigh guard Lance Tejada entered tonight's game with 981 career points, including his time at East Carolina. So 4 here tonight. So Tejada now 985 in his career as he looks to join an exclusive club. That's for sure. That's some consistent scoring. You get 1,000 points in your career, whether it be in high school or college. Of course, some guys really make it look easy. It's really not. Tejada averaging 14.4 games, 16.9 in Patriot League games. Lance, by the way, is a finalist for the prestigious Senior Class Award, one of just 2 on that 33-player roster for the nation out of the Patriot League as Bennett knocks down the free throw. Lefroy reports back in, replacing Bennett. Bennett, a great free throw shooter, 80% on the year. 21-9, Mountain Hawks. Strong force to check off.
Good side-to-side movement. That's nice entry and nice finish. Wick showing you why he's 71, 72% from inside that, or in his field goal percentage, because he's getting the ball deep inside the paint, scoring in a 2 and 3 foot range. Good execution.
Summers on the assist. 15 of those coming in for the freshman. Andre, quick catch and shoot. He has a quick release.
And we got a theft at this end, and Cohen comes up with the basketball.
Andre with 8, fouled defensively on Navy as O'Jelly got caught a little out of position. Subs in, Kiernan reports back in along with Abdullah.
Midshipman staying in that zone. They're trying to match up out of it. I think the Mountain Hawks are doing a good job in recognizing it, stretching it out, and then attacking it when they have the opportunity.
Cohen setting the offense. He's the team leader in assists. 6 in the lead and close to 4 a game, and Tejada turned it over, not agreeing with the call.
The official has him for the walk. Moved the pivot foot before. As a result, Navy can go back to working on the offensive end.
Each team now with 5 turnovers in the game. 6.5 to go opening half. Kiernan.
He's been quiet, averaging 12.9 points a game.
Foul on number 31, Pat Andre, his first, second on Lehigh.
Nice job of getting there.
At the line for Navy, number 21, George
Contact
Kiernan.
on the way, not much going on there, but the official ruled it enough to affect this shot, so young man will get a chance to shoot 2 at the stripe and try to get his team a little closer.
Third in the conference, 85.7%. Patriot League among the nation's as a league. Among the nation's leader, they are 6th out of 32 conferences. How about 71.8% among the 10 Patriot League members? That is phenomenal free throw shooting. And then Navy right in there along with Lehigh. Lehigh 2nd at 76%. Navy 5th, shooting 71.1% as a team, and you're 5th in the league. Lefroy, Andre makes that one extra pass, and it proved to be the right one.
That's exactly right. You took the words right out of my mouth. It was the extra pass, but more importantly, it was the right pass. Getting a teammate a clean look for the 3 ball.
Now 988 in his career between here at Lehigh and East Carolina. Turn over the Mountain Hawks, try to push the other way. Andre, good closeout by Navy, makes the right pass inside once again. And the offense really starting to click as Karnick lays it up and in.
Good, very unselfish play that time.
Abdullah with a tough finish. 10.4 points a game, 12.5 in Patriot League play. Just outside the top 25 in Patriot League scores. Cohen has it back far corner.
Nice job that time by Karnick to keep it alive.
Boy, Andre's got a pretty release going right now.
You mentioned it earlier, it's a pretty and quick release and very difficult to get a block on that because he's very good at getting it out of his hands.
Doing it at both ends as he clears the rebound. Lefroy looked his direction, finds Tejada near side. Here are your Lehigh Mountain Hawks. They have broken this one open, a barrage of threes as Cohen knocks one down near side.
Well, we know the strength of this team, Mike, is shooting a phenomenal 46% from beyond the arc, and they certainly have the weapons to do it. And it's not just one. You're looking at Lefroy and Tejada and Andre. Those 3 are deadly when it comes to getting involved in shooting the 3 ball, and they're getting some great bench help. And lately, Cohen has been lining up the 3 ball as well as anybody.
Mountain Hawks stat here, best record in February since the 2016 year. Wichita State, Vermont, Lehigh right there. This is the right time of the year, Coach, to be winning basketball games, and Mountain Hawks have been as good as any program in the country.
And they do such a good job of sharing the basketball. There's the good hustle that time by Harnick to keep the ball alive. And then you see Andre with the quick release. And then on this time, on the other side, nice release of the basketball. That time Tejada showing you how he can bury the three deep in the corner.
I don't know that we have ever seen a Lehigh team with the ability to stretch the defense the way this one can. I mean, you saw a good example of it there, from the deepest corner on the one side to the deepest corner on the other. And then, of course, the range out here is like unlimited for Dr. Brett Reed's guys.
And as a result of that, that creates, as you mentioned, Mike, stretching the zone. Now you've got major gaps, and now the ball fake, you fake the three ball, and the dribble drive becomes very efficient and effective.
Well, maybe didn't want to get into a shootout with Lehigh, but unfortunately that's where they're at right now. Needs something to happen offensively. Witt from the perimeter, a little bit, well, within his range. 6'8", junior from Amarillo, Texas.
Others, the midshipmen, to step up offensively. They really have struggled this first half, finding and scoring the ball.
Witt played well against Lehigh the first meeting. 19 points, 15 rebounds, both career highs. Offensive foul on Lehigh. I see Kiernan on the deck. That'll bring up a timeout. 3:57 to go. Mountain Hawks by 17. Center for Humanistic Change. Anyone can become addicted, anyone. If you or anyone you know has a drug problem, call Lehigh County at 610-782-355 or Northampton County at 610-829-HELP. Center for Humanistic Change. Mountain Hawks leading 34-17.
Well, they do a real nice job. When you look at the scoring, Mike, their points off of turnovers, they've already acquired 11 points off of turnovers, so they make you pay. You turn the ball over, and they're very good at cashing in on the other end.
Kiernan couldn't convert on a little mid-range hook shot. Lefroy looking for a foul at the other end.
A lot of contact.
They're going to say it was last touch by him. He's unhappy on a lot of fronts there.
Get a chance to see it here as they're going down. There's a lot of grabbing.
I think they got it right. He kind of lost control of it. Watching our game live here in the Lehigh Valley on Service Electric Cable Television. The East Penn Conference semifinals have been set. They'll be playing at Parkland High School. Game 1 at 6, game 2 at 7:30. But Kiernan had that all over it. It wouldn't go in.
Both of opportunities that looked like it was going to be a nice shot, but it did fail to fall. How about this?
That's Tejada.
How about Tejada? Runs the dribble drive into the lane with a beautiful little floater there.
That's 12 and now 993 in his career.
Lehigh foul on number 0, Caleb Bennett, his second. Fourth on Lehigh.
Does a nice job of just taking it with the left hand. Then he switches the ball into the right hand because the defense was overplaying him. And it's one of the things that certainly is impressive. The guards
for Lehigh are very creative, Mike, with the basketball when they get into the lane. If they're not finding a way to score, they usually find a way to get a little pocket pass or a dump down pass to the bigs so they can score. So just a lot of creativity when it comes to the dribble drive by the guards.
Well, and that little runner that Tejada scored on, a teardrop or whatever you want to call it, is such a, I mean, all scorers have it. All scorers have that shot. You know you're going to get a long body in there and that ability to just drop it in over the top and have a good touch on it. Not everybody has it, but those guys who are scoring at 20 a game seem to.
Yeah, you make a good point there about that's a shot we see not only obviously at this level, but the high school now. There's some youngsters in the high school programs that do a nice job of doing that floater, be it in the lane or on the baseline. They have that soft touch that they cultivated over the years.
Abdullah, this is Carter.
Got a good look.
Hassan has it back. Another good look that wouldn't fall. They're a 31% three-point shooting team. That's tough to overcome when you're going up against 44%.
They're 1 for 11.
Now 1 for 12.
Now make it 1 for 12. It's not like they're not getting a good look. That's just a nice Andre showing you his skill set, Mike. We know he can score the ball from beyond and inside the arc, but he also has a nice bounce with the dribble and is able to get to the glass. And if he doesn't finish, he'll get fouled.
16 points, a couple of threes. The first meeting against Navy, he made 4 or 5 free throws and 25 minutes of action, coming off a 7.9 rebound game against Colgate. 21 minutes. Cohen back in to give Pat Andre a little bit of a breather. 2:27 to go till half. Stay with us at the intermission. We'll be talking with Dr. Donald Outing, Vice President for Equity and Community here at Lehigh University. He served as an assistant coach for the women in game number 1. Be anxious to get his thoughts on that, plus all the good stuff going on here at Lehigh University. That coming up at the half.
Number 44, Nick Lynch.
Personal foul on Lynch. Will send Wick to the free throw line.
Yeah, Wick showing you why he's so efficient in that post area. They're using his size and strength to negotiate some turf or territory and got in a good position to draw the foul.
Had that 19 points, 15 rebound game against Lehigh in 33 minutes of action. He averages a little over 21 minutes per game. He's a junior, 1 of 2 on their roster, 4 seniors.
Nicely done, gave it a buddy. Still down 16 with 2:08 left in the first half. And the mids continue to play that matchup zone out of the 2-3.
From the deep corner, it is Andre once again. I don't know how you defend that, Rich. I guess that's the question everybody else has had as well.
They do such a good job of reversing the basketball, and that stretches the zone, and you've got to honor the people that are inside, and if you don't, you're going to pay the penalty there, so difficult to defend.
He's got 15 on 4 made threes on 5 attempts. Well, and it's interesting, too. You look at the year for Lehigh. You talked about Cohen in the open. You can stretch that to Tejada, who had some big games this year. And then now you take it on to Andre. I mean, they have some guys that can really light you up before the game's over. Tejada hit 10 of 14 threes. And an overtime win at Holy Cross. 10 of 14 threes. Wow, he's right.
That's all I can say. Wow.
Look at Andre. I mean, that's a quick turnaround, elevates.
It's a catch and shoot. I mean, he's very good at it. It's just such a quick release. If you're not there, and if you're coming at him trying to close down on him, and you're not under control, he's going to blow by you with the bounce.
He's got 5 rebounds and 2 assists to go along with those 15 points. Wick now
working down inside.
Ryan Pearson, senior. Cohen head up and looking forward. Lefroy, we're under a minute to go till intermission.
Ooh. Talk about taking a hit.
There's Andre. Abdullah got a little out of position. First on Hassan, 8th on the team.
At the line for Lehigh, number 31.
And Andre to the line, 76%. 40 of 52. Again, Lehigh, the second best free throw shooting team in the conference. Conference average overall, 71.8%. That's phenomenal.
That's going to pay some major dividends down the line in the postseason.
Big first half for Pat Andre.
Lehigh substitution, number 25, Ed Porter.
He's going to catch a breather in favor of number 25, Ed Porter, 6'7" junior out of Eastside High School in Florida. Probing, and it is Abdullah who finds a two-point field goal.
Yeah, Hassan did a nice job there of creating offense for himself off the dribble.
Yeah, less than a second differential between the game and shot clock, and the Mountain Hawks will talk about this final 20 seconds. Ed DeChellis, former head coach at his alma mater, Penn State, graduated 1982. 23rd year overall, 315 victories, 376 on the losing end. Then his census, current head basketball coach at Central Catholic, of course, served as an assistant to Emmett Davis, who's an assistant now on this Navy staff. He was here earlier this afternoon. Coaching fraternity, Rich, as you very well know, pretty well intertwined. It's amazing the guys who have cross paths. Of course, Dennis Census served as an assistant at Navy, was the top assistant at Colgate under Emmett Davis.
Brings a wealth of knowledge, especially to the high school program at Allentown Central Catholic. Mike, I was just looking at the stats quickly before the half. Midshipman 1 for 14. 7 for 15 by the Mountain Hawks, 46.7% from the arc, living up to their reputation as being the best three-point shooting team.
Yeah, they test you, and then when they miss, they have guys that are capable of digging out boards. Wick, excuse me, whistled for a foul here. And it says, sends Jameer Wilson to the line. 11.7 boards in 22 minutes against American earlier this year. Did not score against Navy in the first meeting. Had an assist to steal a blocked shot. In 18 minutes, unable to cash in there. Lehigh with a big lead here at intermission, 42-23. Lehigh dance team entertaining a big crowd here tonight this afternoon, I should say, at Stable Arena, and enjoying the Mountain Hawks 42-23 advantage as the sharpshooters are out for sure. Pleased to be joined now by Dr. Donald Outing, who is the Vice President for Equity and Community. Donald, welcome to TV2 Sports in the Lehigh Valley here and our halftime show.
Well, thanks a lot.
You had a unique role in Game 1. Before we get to our business, you served as an assistant coach for Sue Troyan and the ladies. What a tough loss, 4-point final in that one.
Oh, absolutely. They lost by 4, and they won 3 of the 4 quarters.
They did.
But just got behind in that first quarter and just couldn't dig themselves out.
And I'm sure you were in the locker room there. That's what Coach talked about. We need to get off to a better start, and it just didn't happen for him.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to business here a little bit. What does diversity and inclusion mean here at Lehigh University?
So for us, when we talk about diversity, which is a little different than inclusion, we're talking about all those special backgrounds, attributes, and experiences that all of us bring to the organization that enhances the university's mission. And when we talk about inclusion, we talk about all the things that we do to make people feel like they are a member of the team, a member of the Lehigh family here.
And how about what is our Lehigh's current diversity and inclusion priorities?
Well, our top priority is our student access and success efforts. That's led by our long-term professor of educational leadership, George White, and it's about closing that gap the achievement gap, if you will, but in some respects, closing the gap in having access to the high-impact educational experiences that elite institutions like Lehigh has to offer.
And how about specific impact with student access and success and diversifying the student body have on the university's bold vision for the path of prominence?
Well, what we're talking about there is when a student attends Lehigh, what we want them to be able to do is to be able to participate in some of the high-impact educational experiences like study abroad programs, internships, entrepreneurial opportunities, and we don't want the lack of financial resources to stand in the way of that. So when we're talking about our path to prominence, what we're talking about is creating a path for all students to be able to participate, excel, and take advantage of this high-impact educational experience, this residential experience that Lehigh has to offer.
Yeah, for sure. And tell me more about how Lehigh's working to support diverse students to be successful, and how will you define success?
Well, I'll take it to the fact that I'll take the question of how will we define success. And we're going to define success when every student, no matter what their identity is or how they identify, they can come to Lehigh, participate in this educational experience, and you won't see any difference in the educational or the achievements of the individuals, of the various groups.
And you've been down here with Lehigh for a couple of years. You spent 2 decades at Army West Point. Let's just talk a little bit about the Patriot League and what it means to have institutions like Army and Navy on your schedule in college basketball.
Well, I'll tell you, the Patriot League is a phenomenal league, and that's why I was lucky to get this job, this opportunity here at Lehigh, because I wanted to stay in the Patriot League just because the quality of the students and the faculty and staff that you get to interact with. So I spent 2 decades at West Point, 17 years as a math professor there, and my last several years standing up diversity and inclusion for Bob Caslin, the then superintendent.
Great to have you here, and wish you good success here at Lehigh University.
Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate this.
You got it. Great to have you with us. Dr. Donald Outing, Vice President for Equity and Community. More Mountain Hawk basketball when we return. Well, you never know where it's going to quite come from, but it can come from any one of a number. And in this first half, it was Pat Andre, 17 points, 4 for 5 from beyond that arc, 5 for 7 overall. And Rich, you could just see it. I mean, he's catch, shoot, and backpedaling like he knows it's going in.
Shoots the ball with a lot of confidence, as you mentioned, Mike. Shooting a three ball around 40+% from the arc there. As you noted earlier, and we talked about it, he has that quick release, and once you start closing down on Pat Andre, he has the dribble skills to take it to the rack.
And how about the body language on him when he's retreating back the other? I mean, he's expecting it to go in, and you can tell by just the way he's acting after the shot's in the air.
Yeah, that's why the name tag on him is scorer and not shooter. A scorer shoots the ball with confidence, feeling it's going to go in. A shooter sometimes not sure what's going to happen when he shoots it.
Not a surprise to see Lehigh playing the way they are. We talked about Navy and having problems offensively, but a little bit better energy defensively for Lehigh in that half as well.
Yeah, I think after that loss of Colgate and having 4 days to work on the defensive end, and I think they know where their strengths and weaknesses are offensively. Good execution today, and as you noted, defensively a little better in both the transition D as well as the half court.
Mountain Hawks having things their way here. We're at the half. More highlights when we return. 42-23 Lehigh. Mountain Hawks by 19, 42-23, getting it done at both ends. We'll be back with stats, highlights, and our second half after this timeout. Little time and lots of work to do. Navy, we start with them and a look at them offensively. Rich, points were certainly hard to come by early. There's John Carter Jr. relocating and then knocking down a three. Three-time Patriot League Rookie of the Week. He's having a heck of a season.
And one of the few times you see Wick scoring in the post area, and Abdul likes to put the ball on the deck and get there, but struggled that first half, only getting two early in the first half there. On the Mountain Hawks, on the other hand, they've got a number of weapons, and you'll see them all shine this afternoon. Kyle Lefroy getting two to start the game. Good look there that time, and Karnick shows you how to finish in the paint. There's the penetrating move by Tejada. Again, spreading the ball out throughout the course of first half. Share the ball more than willingly, getting good shots.
Numbers playing out about the way they have all year. Mountain Hawks shooting the ball well while Navy's struggling. Free throws pretty even. Turnovers advantage for the Navy as we get our second half underway. And Navy with the first possession. And it is Hassan Abdullah going inside Wick. They leave him alone inside there with Karnick. Redistributes on the perimeter, and now Wick has it back. Movement without the basketball. Carter Jr. well off the mark.
Good defense, good team defense by the Mountain Hawks that first half, and they continue to play the smart, intelligent, engaged, focused defense the second half. That's a plus for the Mountain Hawks.
Well, and Rich, you would get the sense, and I mean, you have had dialogue with Dr. Brett Reed, that was kind of the message at halftime, to keep that defensive intensity up, because those are some nice numbers if you're looking at it from the defensive perspective for Lehigh University.
Shipton do a nice job moving the basketball. There's opportunity to score in that time. Second chance opportunity by Abdullah. Gets two on the board for the midshipmen.
Well, they are number one in offensive rebounds, averaging 12.4 a game, and I guess you could look at that a couple of different ways. Maybe they have more opportunities than other teams do as well with that poor shooting percentage. Cohen open from the far corner, ring him up.
Yeah, he was quiet the first half, facilitating the offense, but this time buried the three to get started and maybe get in a nice offensive rhythm. That's good defense, held ball, will favor the Mountain Hawks. See a nice dribble drive there by Lefroy, and then the kick out. You compress the defense with the dribble drive, shrink the defense, so to speak, and then it opens the perimeter, the good kick out pass, and then the three ball scorers get an opportunity to light it up.
8th season for Ed DeChellis, 12th for Dr. Brett Reed. Holding foul, and appropriately called. Abdullah had his hands on him. As soon as Tejada turned towards the basket, the whistle blew.
That little hesitation move there, that's enough just to move the defense in the right direction for him to go in the opposite direction.
I guess now, Rich, it's been a couple of years since they made that. I mean, it always was the rule, but now they put an emphasis on it a couple of years ago. And, you know, I, for one, felt it was a good thing. This game in college basketball was getting all too physical. I mean, there was holding, and, you know, I mean, it wasn't really much fun to watch, and it's added to a little bit of the fluidity of the game, I would think.
I agree, and I think that there you see a nice little baby hook, and then the offensive effort by Lefroy. But to finish my point, Mike, with the hand checking, I think over the past 2 or 3 years now, college, high school officials are really enforcing it, and the players are starting to understand keeping your hands off on the defensive end. Play defense with your feet first rather than your hands.
Kyle Lefroy, 6'3" senior, two-time captain here in his career at Lehigh, 1,295 career points with his totals here tonight, over 1,300 career, but you just get the sense the thing that's missing from that resume is a Patriot League championship, and you get the sense that number 2 is love to finish it off in that kind of a capacity. Good ball movement here. Kiernan couldn't convert on the 3.
Good transition defense.
Kiernan earlier this year had 20 against Colgate. Carter rims out a 3. Open look there for Davis. Cam Davis.
That's a good sign that somebody's stepping up on the offensive end from beyond the arc. Is in rhythm. Davis buries the 3.
It's his first field goal in 5 attempts.
Ball screen will open up the pick. Oh, beautifully done. Short arm the shot. But Karnick gets it back out. Resets. I like the relocation, Mike.
He's back in there again.
The up and under. Still can't get it to fall.
Then you get the roll and the rebound to Navy.
Good work ethic, though. You like to see the bigs working hard, and then the guards reward them by getting that basketball to them.
Abdullah forcing one up towards the bucket. They're going to get a foul on a disbelieving Jordan Cohen.
Jordan Cohen, his second, first on Lehigh.
Get a look at it here. Cohen's pretty good there. Ooh.
Man, I'll say.
It looked like he got some skin, but he really didn't. There was some air, or some space, call it what you will. Good effort on his part.
Pleading his case, he's obviously not going to win it. He's claiming he was straight up in the air. He did come down a little bit, but it was all ball.
Oh, yes.
First personal foul on Cohen. Second free throw is a good one for Abdullah. They're down 17. Mountain Hawks go back to work at the offensive end. Tejada pops out all over. Boy, even Lehigh's misses look like they're going to win, don't they?
Yes, they do.
That's some kind of year they're having there. 44.6%. They are still on pace to break the Patriot League record of 3-point accuracy for a season. Lefroy digs out a rebound. Maybe a nice job in transition.
They've done a pretty good job. It's just their inability to score. That time breakdown, but a good recovery there by the midshipman.
Tejada took it right to the rim, and Wick was there waiting for him to record the block shot.
We thought there may have been some contact there. Let's see. Yeah, see, there again, the arm coming down, all ball, but the body, obviously, contact was made.
Well, let's just say this. If Cohen's was a foul, that certainly was a foul as well.
Good analogy.
Wick, top of the key, bouncing out now is Davis. Davis, 10-point per game scoring average, is third on the team. Wheel it around in an open look for Abdullah.
Abdullah now got a good look, and they got something going.
He's into double figures. First one for Navy with 11. He's made 4 of his 12 field goals. And it's a 14-point game. You know, that 3-point arc, boy, I tell you, there are no leads that are safe. You get 3 stops and come down and make 3 threes, you're back in whatever it is. Navy trying to make a run. They've closed to within 14. Well, Lehigh men's basketball at Army West Point on February 20th. Meanwhile, Lehigh women's basketball returns to Stabler Arena Wednesday night to host the Bucknell Bison. Game time set for 6 o'clock. Don't miss out on the excitement. Get your tickets now by logging on to LehighTickets.com or by calling the Lehigh ticket office. into the second half of play in both the men and women. Jockeying for position. Of course, the top teams will avoid having to play an opening round playoff game, so very important.
Bennett and Wilson in there now for the Mountain Hawks.
4 to shoot. Cohen quickly to the rim and hangs in the air. Took on a big man inside and converted.
Showing you how to score with contact.
Back at the other end, Navy looking for this to count. Look at this effort by Cohen.
Good job. Here's the contact, yet able to suspend himself. That hang time that he capable of doing, and then ever so softly off the glass for 2.
Well, we said those guys had an unfair advantage in this game. Not everybody can hold themselves up in the air like that. And that is such a skill and really one. I mean, you can try and get stronger in certain areas, but it's a gift. It's some players have it, Rich, you very well know, and others don't.
A number of the Mountain Hawks do have that skill, as we see Hassan Abdullah, 12 points, 3 for 3. Let's see if he can make it 4 for 4. You mentioned earlier that Mids are trying to get a little run here as he misses the second, but we got an offensive rebound by Wick, but I think we're going to get a foul off the rebound.
Failed to get it in. Abdullah with an assist here this afternoon. Now 100 on the year. He becomes the 8th player in program history to record 100+ assists in 3 consecutive years. Young man's had a fine career.
Yes, and that was the first miss from the charity stripe by the midshipman. 9 for 10 at this point. So that they're doing their homework there. Now they got to see if they can continue to get some stops and increase their offensive output, as Cohen will set the O for the Mountain Hawks.
Checks off. Lefroy turns it over.
A little careless with the basketball.
Summers gets it to Abdullah, who lays it up and in. Best stretch of basketball by Navy of the afternoon, and Dr. Brett Reed agrees he's seen enough of it.
Nice job that time. The midshipmen showing you if they have the opportunity, they're able to take it out in transition and score.
13-point game, Lehigh on top. Well, seniors at Navy received Surface Warfare Officer for their service assignment, selected their first ships on Thursday, January 31. Team Captain Ryan Pearson chose the USS San Antonio, based in Norfolk, Virginia. Hassan Abdullah selected the USS Anchorage in San Diego. Both are amphibious transport dock or landing platform dock ships, while Dominic Antonelli and George Kiernan, the additional 2 seniors on the men's basketball team, each received Marine Corps ground for their service assignments. Of course, these young men go to Navy or Army, and then coming out, they owe their academies 4 years after. So we wish these young men the very best as they become really the leaders and the protectors of our country. There are some individuals. It's been, a couple of decades for us, Rich, in calling these Patriot League games. And, one thing, that's a tough finish there by Wilson, but one thing, nobody roots against Navy or Army. You get into the rivalries, obviously, and you want to win these games, but I think deep down inside, we're all hoping that Army and Navy guys have success, maybe just not against their own team.
Tremendous amount of respect for those programs, Mike. I concur. These gentlemen are the protectors of our country, and we wish them the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Cohen now setting the Mountain Hawk offense, trying to turn the corner. Lefroy.
Good ball movement.
Wilson in there, nice little hook shot off the mark by Karnick. Another opportunity for Navy. You can just sense them playing with a little more confidence here these last couple of minutes.
Getting some, that was a real good look too.
And Carter's the guy they want pulling the trigger. Unable to convert. He's from Summit High School in Spring Hill, Tennessee, 6'4" freshman. So difficult. We talk about it on an annual basis, how tough it is for freshmen to come in and have an impact on their programs. Can you imagine what it's like at Navy? Going through what you have to go through that first year. And then you come out and perform at a high level basketball-wise. Cohen with a tough shot. The mids coming up with some stops here. Can they add offense to the end of it? Abdullah couldn't convert.
Got a good look. Nice transition offense going here.
Reach in on Navy. And here's where Navy's struggling. They got some stops, but just unable to get it done at the offensive end to really complete what they would hope would be some kind of a comeback.
Lefroy finding Wilson there in transition. Foul on Kerr. So he'll get a chance to shoot two. Giving Coach Brett Reed some valuable playing time in both offense and defense.
I mentioned he won Rookie of the Week honors. That was back on November 26th.
Bench play so important at the college level, and certainly in the Patriot League. You know you're going to run into some difficult times with fouls, injuries, and have that bench able to step up and fill in, play them, and know their part in the offensive system and play the roles they're expected to play on both offense and defense. A real positive. I think Brett Reed and the staff have done a nice job of developing the bench this season.
Wilson in 20 minutes of work against Colgate on Monday night at 11 points. Shot clock already down to 12. They go inside. Wick fires it out to the perimeter. Summers got caught up in the air. Some contact will send him to the free throw line.
Well, this works for the mids. Wick, you see, reversing the basketball. Then, as you noted, there's the foul occurring. But the clock's not running. Go to the charity stripe. Put some points on the board there. That's in your favor. 12-21. They're trying to continue a little offensive spurt here as he gets both of them to fall.
Summers a good free throw shooter, 75%er. Supplementing that offense, he had 4 against Lehigh the first meeting, 3 rebounds. He also played 20 minutes. Karnick now in for Lehigh. To make that Lynch, 44. Here's Bennett, that ball's popped free. Navy defensively has become a little bit more disruptive.
Creating a little chaos on the defensive end. Let's see if they can convert now on the offensive end.
Summers. Carter whistle off the ball.
They're going to get Nick Lynch with a push from behind. Armbar's legal. Can't remove him with the armbar and pull it out.
Timeout on the court. Will step aside. Lehigh leading 53-38. Patriot League out-of-town scoreboards. Again, Bucknell continues their winning ways. American knocks off Army in a close ball game, and Loyola and Colgate in a dual 3-point finish there when Lehigh women come up 4 short against visiting Boston University earlier this afternoon here at Stabler Arena. It's been a great day of basketball, so very glad you could join us. There are a couple of the ladies, Bernadette Devaney, actually the director of basketball operations, a couple of the coaches there hanging around to watch the guys game. Great support between the two programs. Used to play women-men doubleheaders. They got away from that a couple of years ago, so opportunity this afternoon for the two programs to be at home here. Second time it's happened this year against two different visiting schools, but still the same kind of an environment. Maybe hanging around in this one. Hada probing. Andre, 9 to shoot for the Mountain Hawks. It'll be Lefroy who bangs home a 3.
When they show their patience and poise on offense, the Mountain Hawks are very efficient.
9th 3 of the afternoon. That's right around their seasonal average. 9 for 20, 45%. It's amazing. I mean, one guy will hit 3, and then he'll go away for a while, and another guy will hit 2, and then another guy will hit 1. Navy, however, with an answer this time. That's Isaiah Burnett, a 6'5" sophomore. That's his 3rd 3 of the year. Comes at a much needed time for his teammates. They're within 15.
Still plenty of time, 10:34 left in the second half.
Boy, Lefroy with a nifty little pass. Lynch, nice pickup, but just a little hard on the layup.
Yeah, unable to convert.
Foul on number 1, John Carter.
And you see Pat Andre, and then you'll see the nice delivery and finish by Kyle Lefroy.
I mean, you get out of position by half a step, you're in trouble. You're praying they miss. And that doesn't happen too often. Those prayers have gone more often than not unrewarded. Here's Andre, ring him up.
I was just going to say, Pat Andre has been quiet. Well, it's time for Pat Andre to step it up as he buries another 3 from deep in the corner.
That's number 5 on the afternoon for Andre.
Wow. Let's see if the midshipmen have an answer. I do believe Strong is going to get.
Number 31, Pat Andre, his 2nd, 5th on Lehigh.
Andre picking up the personal foul. Here he is moments ago at the offensive end.
James Carter.
Good recognition, though, too. The Mountain Hawks do a great job of reversing the basketball, finding the open man, and giving him the opportunity to get that good look.
Andre's career high 31 at Monmouth.
In rhythm, in rhythm.
Here come the Mountain Hawks. It's a 3 for Lance Tejada. Now 996 in his career.
It just seems like the Mountain Hawks can go to the next gear, Mike, at time. There, the young man is showing you his ability as Burnett hits another 3 ball.
He's matched his season total. 2 for 15 coming in. He has 2 over the last, a little better than a minute. Karnick, and that's Andre inside, showing his versatility for a 2-point field goal.
And really, that's a good point, Mike, in terms of his offensive package there. They brought him in from the backside, and he posted below Karnick, and as a result was able to get the good catch and then take it strong to the glass.
Andre, now a junior, psychology major, played 27 games as a freshman. 30 last year, making 29 starts, 12.6 points per game last year, 13.5 this season, and the number 3 scorer for the Mountain Hawks. Summers fighting his way through a double team, but took too many steps.
And that's just good team defense. They're recognizing when the dribble penetration occurs, they're closing down, making it difficult at times for the midshipmen to get any kind of look at the basket.
Tejada took a look at a 3. It would have been a long ranger. Cohen, plenty of time on the shot clock. Lefroy, it's Andre.
Just stepped out. How that didn't fall, I don't know, but with such confidence and such a soft touch.
Like we said earlier, even when they miss, they look like they're going in. Navy digs out an offensive rebound. Mountain Hawks have done a nice job not allowing them second and third shot opportunities.
They really rebounded well on both ends of the court this afternoon, I should say. There's a good defensive play.
And it will be out of bounds. Rule, they might change the call here. Looked like that ball hit the back of a Navy play. They got it right. Good officiating.
Got together to make the right call. Mountain Hawks will put it in play. 8:30 left in this one.
Maybe now in kind of a zone, and it got Lehigh a little tentative. Did Lehigh get it? Are they going to give Lehigh a timeout here? Yeah, Charlotte's not happy at all.
There's the mishandling of the basketball, and
that's a break for Lehigh. They ruled that Lehigh had possession of it. Dr. Brett Reed called the timeout, but you have to have possession of the ball to call timeout. It's all right.
Ed DeChellis voiced his concern. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's been a while for this Navy program. You'll recall under Don DeVoe down in the late 90s, 97, 98, they had those duels with Lafayette, Fran O'Hanlon, as we get a look at the work by Hassan Abdullah. You talked about him in the open, Rich, and he's quite a good basketball player.
He really is. He has a lot of offensive skills, and we saw them demonstrated. The drive, obviously, in transition. He knows how to finish even when contact is made. Has the ability to shoot the three ball. He gives them that solid defense that they need, and certainly he's an assist maker. I think he had one, and he needed one to get to 100 this season. Again, the third time in 3 years this young man has reached over 100 assists each season, telling you how he can read the defense and make the right pass at the right time.
14 points, 6 rebounds, the assist you're talking about. He's blocked a shot, 24 minutes. 8th player in program history to record better than 100 assists in 3 consecutive seasons. 23 points last time out against American, a career high for him. 6 rebounds, 6 assists in that ball game, and 34 minutes of work.
He plays with the high energy, really works hard at the offensive defensive end for Coach Ed DeChellis, and that's certainly a positive anytime you have a team like this. And they have some good wins on their resume, Mike. They beat Colgate, so you beat Colgate, you're beating one of the upper echelon teams, and certainly there shows they have the capability. Right now they're just trying to get that consistency and something out of the offense, where the defense has been fairly good throughout the better part of the season, but the offense has really been inconsistent.
Started Patriot League play 2-0, beat Colgate, and then followed that up with a win against Holy Cross, both games at home. Tejada, bang!
Well, I love the way he used that crossover, Mike. Gets the defense to fall back a little bit, then the step back, Jay. Nothing but nylon.
998 in his career for Lance Tejada. Spent 2 seasons at East Carolina. Saw action in 64 games. In his Lehigh career, 712 total points, an average of 14.5 a game. He has been super consistent. He's up that average to 16.9 in Patriot League play.
That's a patented move that he does. He just saw it there, that crossover, the wide dribble, gets the defense to lean to the right, and then the step back crossover, nothing but net.
Strong. He had some good moments in that first half.
Karnick with the rebound. They'll push it up the court, go back to work. Cohen off the ball screen. Nothing but nylon.
Mountain Hawks have broken it open again, 68-44. Abdullah, the rebound to Carter. Tejada looking for 3.
In rhythm, looked good on the way. bit short to the right. It's both teams now willing to go up and down in transition. Wilson with the rebound. He'll push it up. Now Coach Brett Reed calling from the sides. He wants a set offensive play, get his team to settle down and run a set offensive set against that man-to-man or matchup zone.
Maybe foul on number 11, second for net, his second, team 7. Substitutions for Lehigh, number 25.
Caleb Bennett making a nice strong move, getting fouled in the process, going to the basket, shooting 80% from the free throw line. He'll get a chance to shoot 2. Excuse me. Prior to the shot, the foul, that's a 1-and-1.
Played well against Navy the first meeting. 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. 25 minutes. Boy, made all 4 of his free throws.
As I mentioned earlier, Coach Brett Reed and the staff have done a nice job of developing their bench play, and they've performed admirably at times coming off the bench and giving them a lift, either offense with good offense or solid defense.
Now Joe Foley, a 6'3" freshman, has checked in for Lehigh. And if that's all we see of Lance Tejada, I got to admit, I'm a little disappointed. I'd like to see him get to 1,000 here. Mountain Hawks have 36 all total. Holden Griner at 1,013 at that 36 spot. I would think they'd want to get that out of the way too, right, Coach?
I do believe he's going to be coming back. I think they must be aware of his ability to reach that milestone, and give him a little break here with 6:39, and hopefully we can get him back in the lineup and achieve that goal.
Well, if not, it's a pretty good bet it's going to happen on the road. They are at Bucknell, then at Boston University, the next 2 ball games. Foley. Joe's played in 13 previous games, a little under 4 minutes per playing time. Atherton, California's hometown.
Cohen made a nice drive to the basket, but a little better defense by the midshipman caused for the block.
Strong. Carter Jr. wheels back out into the corner and rack up 3 for Josiah Strong.
Only a freshman, as you mentioned, so producing some nice offense for the midshipman.
Second field goal, both threes. Porter's on the board. Easy layup. Young man battling back from the shoulder injury.
Nice job of breaking the press that time by the midshipman, Mike. We're starting to warm up here. Strong gets another good look from the top of the key. Buries the jumper. There's a good double team in the corner. Cohen and Wilson showing patience how to break it.
Wilson gets it across midcourt. Touch over, 5 minutes remaining. Porter a fall around. The bench wanted to see that one go. Strong had his pocket picked, and it was Cohen. Cohen out ahead of the pack, but he thought, well, no, they're going to call a foul here? Well, I think they got Wilson for holding up a defender in transition there. Let's see what happens. Watch Wilson.
Oh, yeah, he puts that arm out and says, you're not going to get my teammate. No way. And then Cohen with this flush at the other end. 6'2" and elevates.
Carter holds. Strong looking to continue his recent success. Doesn't get a roll. Tipped up by Navy. And the rebound to Bennett.
Bennett's going downhill. A little Euro step, but a little strong off the glass.
Rebound cleared by Burnett.
Good
Navy
defense.
will turn it over.
Joe Foley, good defense on the ball. Got his hands in there to knock it off a midshipman, so the Mountain Hawks will put it in play.
Sub in for Navy, number 55, 6'7" freshman, Richard Njoku. St. John's High School in Washington, D.C. They play some basketball there. Playing in his 16th game, he's averaging a little under 8 minutes per contest, 1.3 points per game. Played just a couple of minutes in the first meeting against Lehigh. Really nice move to the bucket to draw contact.
A good first step. Nice ball fake. Got the defense to move with the ball fake, and then a good cross. Very nice. You see the end of it there, but did a good job of getting to the baseline, drawing the foul. He'll shoot two, gets one, see if he can get another.
Foley, a business major. He played 12 minutes against Colgate Monday night, had 6 points. Made a pair of free throws, had 2 boards, 3 assists. 1 of 2 from the line. Made 73-51 Mountain Hawks. Lehigh looking to improve to 9-3, 16-7. Navy would fall to 8-15, 5-7. Timeout on the court. 3:52 though to go here at the Chalices. Mids in a little bit of trouble, trailing the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. Now Lance Tejada, haven't seen him resurface, but another awesome afternoon for him. 17 points on 7 for 15, made 3 of 9 threes, and as it stands right now in his entire career, 998 career points. Looks like he might have to wait till next game.
Again, it's showing you what's in his toolbox, so to speak. He's got a lot of weapons off the bounce, in transition, as well as the long and short range jumper, and at the same time does a great job of sharing the basketball.
Member of the preseason All-Patriot League team, just scintillating effort. Overtime win against Holy Cross, 10 of 14 3-point field goals. Mountain Hawk foul. There's a look at Tejada. 6'2" senior, Miramar, Florida. Lehigh High School. And as we mentioned earlier, also a candidate for the Senior Class Award, which recognizes excellent across the board, not just athletically, community-wise, schoolwork. Great honor to be on that list. Only 2 from the Patriot League.
Nice job again of the Mountain Hawks showing you their ability to break pressure. Now to set the offense on this end.
Bucknell senior guard Kimball McKenzie, the other. 30 on the NCAA men's basketball student athletes. Senior class award, McKenzie at 3.47, great point average. Caleb Bennett with a 3, his 10th of the year.
You know, right before the shot clock expired, got the good look and buried the 3. They continue to execute from the offensive end. Nice drive again Hosea Strong, the freshman, 6'2", doing a nice job offensively tonight for coach, or this afternoon for Coach Ed Chillis.
Lehigh subs, number 21, Shane Acavino, a 6'6 sophomore. And number 10, Zedric Farrell, a freshman, appearing in just his 6th game. Acavino also appearing in game number 6. It's a rare opportunity where you get these chances as a head coach to get some of these second-tier guys in there, give them an opportunity to stretch their legs. 6'2 junior David Rolke is also over there. How about a bucket there for Acavino?
How about the Foley, the pass? Nice recognition. Not the easiest pass from top down, but good execution.
These guys work so hard.
Every coach likes to go deep into the bench, especially as you were so noted. How about this Foley? Good recognition now, top down. That's probably the hardest pass to make into the post area. There's not a good angle for it, but he created it. Nicely done.
Lehigh substitution number 55, David Rolke.
So David Rolke now into the ball game.
That should complete emptying the bench for this contest and giving everyone an opportunity to play.
Mountain Hawks will complete a sweep against the Mids. 85-74 winner, first time in Annapolis. That was back on January 23rd. We have Phantoms hockey coming your way at the conclusion of tonight's game. Breaking the ice, 6:30. Scheduled to get underway this evening at 7:15. Back-to-back games. They're back in action again on Sunday. We'll have it for you live on TV2 Sports. That was Farrell. 5 games, he scored just a couple of points. So he's going to work to the free throw line for the first time in his career in a Lehigh uniform. Iona Prep in Harlem, New York. Talked to Dr. Donald Outing at halftime. Talked about diversity and inclusion and having players and come together, give them an opportunity here at Lehigh, and bodes well for the educational process. As Farrell is on the board, first 2 collegiate free throws, as Dr. Brett Reed now able to take a seat. And Tony Weiss, Harry Moore, Noel Hightower also over there on the bench. Strong rebound for the Mountain Hawks. Cross-court pass is picked off by Josiah Strong. Number 15 is Dominic Antonelli. He's one of those seniors talked about. Trinity High School in Mechanicsburg. Antonelli playing his 7th game.
His first, 10th on Navy.
Joku picking up the personal foul.
At the line for Lehigh, number 10, Cedric Farrell, shooting 2.
Farrell back to the line.
See if he can get 2 more there.
Is Ryan Pearson, another one of those seniors we talked about earlier for Navy.
Foley now bringing it over half court. Setio, they'll go to work. See if they can get 2 or 3 out of this possession.
I know it has been our custom to have some post-game interviews. We will be unable to do that here this afternoon. Our programming continuing on Service Electric Cable Television, so apologize for those who might be looking for that, but we are going to move on and congratulate Dr. Brett Reed, of course Pat Andre on a big evening here. Three-pointer off the mark. Try and get some scoring in here. LaFleur with 10. Acavino with another bucket. Tejada with 17. He's 2 away from 1,000 in his career. Andre with 22. Individually for Navy, Abdullah with 14. 10 for Strong in a good effort on his part, but it'll come up short. Lehigh improving to 16-7 overall, 9-3 in Patriot League action. Will maintain second place. And they'll play a couple on the road, some important games coming up. It'll be at Bucknell and at Boston University, each of the next 2 times out.
At the line for Lehigh, number 10 is Edric Farrell, shooting 2.
Mountain Hawks will wind up 12 for 26 from beyond the arc, 46%. That's their overall game percentage, make 70% of their free throws until that one rattles out on Farrell. Navy, meanwhile, continuing to struggle. 28% field goals, 20% threes. Did make all but 2 of their 19 free throws, but it will not be enough here this afternoon.
Mentioned the bench points earlier. Did a nice job there. Saw this group out trying to put some points on the board, but averaging 23 points off the bench, so it's a good afternoon's work.
Lehigh a winner, 83-57 your final.